Hey everyone, and welcome back to Love Hackers. It's your daily dose of dating advice right here. I'm Alex Carter.
And I'm Sophie Tanaka.
And we've got a ton of experience in the dating world. We're here to help you guys figure out this crazy world of love and attraction. And today, we are doing a deep dive into some super interesting stuff about seducing women. In this modern age, right? Like, you're looking for real practical advice. I think we found it. This stuff is packed with tips and tricks, and we're going to break it all down. We're going to get to the good stuff.
Yeah, it's so fascinating because, we live in this world of dating apps and instant connection and all that. But what this advice really drives home is that the fundamentals of attraction haven't actually changed.
Yeah.
Women are still drawn to men who are confident and fun and who can make them feel good. And it's classic. It works.
Yeah, for a reason, right? Like, this whole inner game versus outer game thing really jumped out at me when I was looking at this. So can you explain to our listener what those are and why they even matter when it comes to seduction?
Oh, absolutely. So think of inner game as like the foundation. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all about self-improvement and building real confidence, like genuine confidence. And that means taking care of your physical health, your appearance, things like hygiene and grooming and fitness.
Right.
And it also means addressing any insecurities or self-doubt that you have. Nervousness, neediness, lack of self-esteem, all that stuff. These are inner game issues that can just totally sabotage your efforts before you even begin.
Oh, it is so true. I remember one time I was so focused on, trying to impress this woman that I completely forgot to, check my breath. And let's just say things did not go well.
Oh, no.
So yeah, hygiene and fitness matter.
Yeah.
This advice does not mess around.
No, it's blunt, but it's because it's important. It's crucial.
Right.
Taking care of yourself shows self-respect, and women find that incredibly attractive.
For sure.
Outer game, on the other hand, is more about the actions and techniques you use to attract women. Think of it like your playbook. The moves you make. But here's the thing. Your outer game only really works if you've got that solid inner game to back it up.
Makes total sense. So what kind of seduction strategies does this advice actually give? Like, is there a step-by-step process or?
There is.
Okay.
Yeah, it outlines this sequence that starts with approaching a woman with like a genuine remark, engaging her in a memorable conversation, and then ultimately securing a date. And then it kind of shifts. The focus becomes building rapport and a deeper connection on that date.
Okay.
So it's like a progression.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
But what about flirting and teasing? That's where I feel like a lot of guys just trip up. How do you do that effectively without seeming cheesy or disrespectful? Any tips?
This is where it gets really interesting. It gives some pretty specific examples. Like it emphasizes playful banter, strong eye contact, confident body language. It even talks about like the importance of escalating physical touch gradually, like building comfort and intimacy every time.
Ah, yes, the power of touch.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate that one, folks. Speaking of getting physical, it also talks about creating sexual tension, right? Escalating physical touch, using sensual eye contact, and even shifting the conversation to be a little more, sexual. And that could be a little tricky. What's the key to doing this without coming across as too aggressive or inappropriate?
You are so right. It is a very delicate balance.
Yeah.
This advice really stresses making a woman feel desired and aroused, but without being disrespectful or overwhelming. Like it cautions against rushing the process and emphasizes the need to build attraction and trust first.
Right.
The goal is to create this charged atmosphere, a sense of anticipation, but always with respect and sensitivity.
Solid advice. But, even with the best intentions, rejection is just part of the game. Like, how does it suggest handling those inevitable no's? Gracefully and constructively.
It really reinforces the idea that rejection is a numbers game. You can't take it personally. There are so many factors at play, and sometimes it's just not a match. The key is to view rejection as an opportunity for growth and improvement, to learn from the experience, and refine your approach. It's all about resilience and persistence.
That's such an important point.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is just bad timing or a mismatch in personalities. It doesn't mean you're not worthy of love and connection.
Exactly. Don't let a few setbacks derail your confidence.
This is really resonating with me. It's so refreshing to see advice that focuses on authenticity and respect. It's not about tricks or manipulation.
No.
It's about putting your best foot forward and making genuine connections.
Absolutely. It's about showcasing who you truly are and finding someone who appreciates you for it. It's about building a connection that feels good for both people.
So it's about being the best version of yourself, but also recognizing that not everyone will be a perfect match. And that's okay.
Right. It's about learning from each experience, both the successes and the rejections. and using that knowledge to grow. It's a journey, not a destination.
Okay. I'm already feeling more confident about this whole dating thing. It's not about being perfect. It's about being genuine and putting yourself out there.
Exactly. Embrace the journey. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there. You never know who you might meet.
This advice has really given me a lot to think about. I'm excited to dive even deeper into these concepts and see what else we can uncover.
Me too. There's so much more to explore. And I think our listener will find it incredibly valuable.
Well, folks, stay tuned for part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll uncover even more secrets to successful seduction in the modern age. Don't go anywhere.
One thing that really stood out to me was this whole focus on authenticity. Like, it's not about trying to be someone you're not, or using like cheesy pickup lines or whatever.
Right. It's about embracing who you are, letting your genuine personality shine through. Like, that's got to be the foundation for any real connection, right?
Totally. And speaking of connection, it goes really deep on the power of conversation.
Uh-huh.
It's not just about like filling the silence. It's about engaging in a way that sparks interest and builds rapport, you know?
Okay, so spill the tea. What kind of conversation tips does it give?
Okay, so it suggests asking open-ended questions
Okay.
to encourage her to share her thoughts and feelings, and then actually listening to her responses, like really listening, and finding common ground to connect on.
Okay.
And it also emphasizes being a good storyteller, like having anecdotes that reveal your personality and make her laugh.
So it's like a mix of being engaging, showing genuine interest, and then having some killer stories up your sleeve. But let's be real, sometimes conversations can just hit a snag. Any advice on, like, handling those awkward silences?
Yeah, it actually addresses that. It suggests using those moments to observe her body language, make eye contact, and kind of build a sense of intimacy.
Sure.
It's about using those pauses strategically instead of letting them derail the interaction. Oh, that's clever. Turning a potential negative into a positive.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about something that I think can really make or break a connection. Confidence.
Ugh, confidence is king, right? It gives some really practical tips for boosting yours. It suggests focusing on your strengths, practicing self-compassion, and challenging any negative self-talk you might have.
Okay.
And it emphasizes taking action even when you feel nervous or unsure.
I love that. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone and building confidence through experience.
Exactly. The more you put yourself out there, the more confident you become. And remember, confidence isn't about being arrogant or cocky. It's about believing in yourself and your worth.
Right. It's that inner knowing that you have something unique to offer. Now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about physical intimacy, because this can be a little tricky to navigate. It suggests escalating physical touch gradually, but how do you know when it's appropriate to make a move? Reading her body language is key. And her nonverbal cues, it highlights signs of interest, like if she's leaning in or touching her hair. Maintaining prolonged eye contact.
Okay.
But it also emphasizes respecting her boundaries and backing off if she seems uncomfortable.
So it's all about being attuned to her signals
Yeah,
and responding accordingly.
precisely. Finding that sweet spot between being assertive and being respectful.
Okay, let's say you've had an amazing date. The connection is electric, you're both feeling it. Any advice on smoothly transitioning from the date to, well, something more?
It suggests being direct and confident, expressing your desire clearly but respectfully. And again, reading her body language and her verbal cues to gauge her interest before making a move.
So no need for cheesy pickup lines or awkward fumbling.
No.
Just clear, honest communication.
Exactly. And remember, it's always okay to ask for consent and make sure you're both on the same page.
Absolutely. Consent is non-negotiable. Now let's talk about something that can be a major buzzkill. Rejection. It's inevitable in dating, but how do you bounce back without letting it crush your confidence?
It offers some great advice on dealing with rejection, reminding us that it's not a personal attack, that everyone experiences it, and
Yeah.
that it's an opportunity to learn and grow. It suggests focusing on your self-worth, surrounding yourself with supportive people, and not giving up on finding love.
That's so important. Rejection can sting, but it doesn't define you.
Yeah.
You know, it's about picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and getting back out there.
Yeah.
And every no brings you closer to a yes.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So this advice is like a gold mine of practical tips on seduction, you know. It's emphasizing authenticity, strong communication, confidence, and resilience. It's not about manipulating anyone. It's about being your best self
Yeah.
and making genuine connections.
Right. It's about creating a positive experience for both people involved, built on respect, honesty, and mutual attraction. It's a journey of self-discovery and connection.
This has been eye-opening. It's not about following a rigid script. It's about being present, responsive, and respectful throughout the entire process.
Exactly. It's about enjoying the journey and trusting that the right connections will naturally unfold.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, and I'm already feeling more confident about my approach to dating.
Me too. I think our listener will find this information incredibly valuable and empowering.
You know, one thing that also really stood out to me was that emphasis on taking things slow. Like, it's not about rushing to the finish line.
It's like a slow dance, not a sprint, you know?
Yeah,
It's about savoring each moment and letting the connection build naturally.
I love that analogy. It's
Yeah.
about creating that sense of anticipation and mystery.
Exactly. And speaking of mystery, let's talk about the art of flirting. Because it mentions, being playful and teasing, but how do you walk that line without seeming immature or disrespectful?
Yeah, that's a delicate balance for sure.
It suggests using humor and witty banter and subtle compliments to create that kind of flirtatious vibe. But the key is reading her reactions and adjusting your approach accordingly.
So it's about being attentive, responsive, and above all, respectful.
Absolutely. And remember, flirting should be fun. If you're not enjoying yourself, it'll show.
Right. It's all about that playful energy, that spark of connection that makes it exciting.
Exactly. And when it's done well, flirting can be incredibly alluring.
Now let's talk about something that can really trip people up: body language. It highlights confident posture, strong eye contact, and a genuine smile. Any tips on mastering those nonverbal cues?
It's about being aware of your body and how you're presenting yourself. It suggests practicing good posture, making eye contact when you speak, smiling genuinely.
Okay.
It really boils down to being relaxed and comfortable in your own skin.
It's about projecting an air of confidence and approachability.
Exactly. And remember, body language speaks volumes, so make sure you're sending the right signals.
Great advice. Okay, before we wrap up, I want to touch on something that can be a real confidence killer. The fear of rejection. We all experience it, but how do you overcome that fear and put yourself out there?
It reminds us that rejection is just a part of life. It doesn't mean you're not worthy of love and connection.
Right.
So instead of seeing it as a failure, see it as a chance to learn and grow.
I like that.
Focus on the positive aspects of dating and remember to take care of yourself. Surround yourself with supportive people.
That's such a crucial reminder. Rejection can sting, but it doesn't define you. It's about picking yourself up,
Yeah.
dusting yourself off, and getting back out there.
And every no brings you closer to a yes.
Wow, we covered a lot of ground today. From inner game to outer game, from flirting to handling rejection. This advice is a game changer.
It really is. It reminds us that seduction isn't about manipulation or tricks. It's about being authentic, connecting genuinely, and enjoying the journey.
Awesome. Well, that's it for today's deep dive into the art of seduction. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Alex Carter.
And I'm Sophie Tanaka. We hope you found this deep dive insightful and empowering. And remember,
Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this episode with your friends. Until next time, happy dating.